Frosted hearts. Wait, what? Sophie smacked her cheeks, trying to shake off the thoughts swirling in her mind. Not these thoughts again. No. This was nothing romantic. She just wanted to be close with her friend because the weather was so cold. That was it. Nothing else. She gazed out into the distance and spotted Olivia heading towards her. Waving. Sophie felt her heart rate increasing. Oh great, she was getting flustered already. She shook herself out of it and waved back to her friend. Hey Olivia. Sophie called, forcing a smile. Olivia ran over, her cheeks rosy from the cold, and grinned wide. She wore a white winter jacket that made her look like a marshmallow. A purple scarf wrapped snugly around her neck, and a maroon beanie perched on her head. You look great, Sophie told Olivia, her heart fluttering a little. Thanks, Olivia replied, her eyes sparkling. So do you. Sophie felt warmth spread through her cheeks. So? Olivia hesitated, digging her boot into the snow. You ready? Sophie nodded enthusiastically. Let's go. The two walked together, gazing at the fluffy clouds above. Their boots crunched the snow beneath them, and for a moment, the chilly air felt less biting. So winter, huh? Sophie laughed, trying to break the ice. What do you think of snow? She asked, cringing at how awkward that sounded. Olivia shrugged. It can be pretty. Not as pretty as you, Sophie thought, catching herself. Wait, what? When I was a kid, I used to make snow angels all the time. Sophie reminisced, trying to focus on something else. And snowmen. That was so fun. Not so fun when snow gets in your boots, Olivia grunted, rolling her eyes playfully. Sophie chuckled in agreement, feeling her jitters fade. Okay, getting better. I can do this, she assured herself. When they arrived at the park, the entire landscape was covered in a blanket of snow and ice, the chilly breeze making Sophie shiver slightly. A few young kids ran around, gleefully throwing snowballs at each other, filling the air with laughter. Sophie looked thoughtful, then suddenly raced over to the snow, cupping some in her hands. She rolled it into a few balls, carefully crafting a little snowman. With twigs for arms and a pebble for a nose, she admired her work. Olivia observed from a distance. Not bad. With a playful grin, Olivia sat opposite Sophie and grabbed some snow of her own, creating a much larger snowman that towered over Sophie's. Whoa, nice one, Sophie exclaimed, genuinely impressed. She couldn't help but think, she's so talented. Their eyes met for a moment, and Sophie felt her heart race again. She coughed and looked away, a nervous energy buzzing between them. Sophie? Olivia asked, tilting her head slightly. Sophie fanned her face. Quick. She had to distract herself. Watching the kids throw snowballs, a mischievous idea sparked in her mind. With a swift motion, she formed a snowball in her palm. Whack! Wait, what? Sophie gasped, her eyes wide as Olivia had gotten her totally off guard. Revenge! Olivia laughed, retaliating with her own snowball, hitting Sophie square in the face. This turned into a full-on snowball battle, with Sophie bursting into giggles after scoring a direct hit on Olivia's forehead. Olivia quickly countered with an even bigger snowball, sending Sophie tumbling back into the snow with a delighted squeal. You got me! Sophie chuckled, slumping onto the snow, arms and legs spread out. She laid back, feeling the cold snow against her neck. Olivia copied her, laughing as she landed beside her. Thankfully, her scarf kept the snow away from her neck. As they made snow angels together, watching the clouds drift lazily above, Sophie felt lighter. Little white flecks began to fall from the sky. Look! Sophie gasped, her eyes bright with excitement. It's snowing! Little snowflakes danced down around them, and the girls sat up, reaching out their hands to catch the delicate flakes. Sophie tried to catch one on her tongue, laughing like a little kid. Now you're eating them too? Olivia teased, grinning. Hey, it's tradition. Sophie shot back, sticking her tongue out playfully. Haven't you ever eaten snowflakes before? You're gonna get so cold, Olivia replied, her tone teasing yet concerned. I mean, you're not even wearing a scarf. Sophie grimaced, shivering slightly. Maybe a little cold, she admitted, realizing her neck was indeed feeling chilly. Suddenly, Olivia edged closer to Sophie, and warmth spread through Sophie's cheeks. Here, Olivia said, offering her part of the scarf. Sophie raised her brow in surprise. Oh hey, thanks. She wrapped the scarf around her neck, feeling the heat radiate from Olivia's body. They were so close now. The warmth enveloped them both. Snowflakes continued to fall softly around them, creating a magical atmosphere. Olivia looked down, her own cheeks flushed. Sophie coughed, searching for something to say. Just think of something. She blurted, trying to push through her nervousness. How about a selfie? Well, that was painfully awkward of her, but too late. She was already pulling out her phone. Why not? Olivia shrugged, her smile brightening. They both beamed at the camera, their cheeks flushed and laughter bubbling in the air. Despite the blush creeping up her face, Sophie felt completely at ease with Olivia. Thanks for coming out with me today, she said earnestly. Thank you too, Olivia replied, her eyes shining. I mean it, Sophie insisted, scooting a little closer. Thank you. Hey, same to you, Olivia said softly, and suddenly the air around them shifted. They found themselves staring into each other's eyes, a moment suspended in time. We're close enough to kiss, Sophie thought, a whirlwind of emotions flooding her. But before she could act on her impulse, she suddenly moved back, panic rising in her chest. No, this was all just friendship. Nothing more to it. She coughed, turning her head away to focus on the falling snowflakes. But she couldn't resist glancing back at Olivia, who was still watching her with an intensity that made her heart race. It's a wonderful day, Sophie murmured, feeling bold. Maybe I'll indulge myself just a little. Before she knew it, Olivia leaned in, their faces inches apart. Sophie, she whispered, her breath warm against Sophie's skin. Sophie's heart pounded as she felt the world around them fade away. Olivia, she breathed, feeling a mixture of excitement and fear. Then, in an exhilarating moment, Olivia closed the distance. Their lips brushed together gently, a hesitant but electric touch. Sophie's eyes fluttered shut as she melted into the kiss, feeling a wave of warmth wash over her. As they pulled back, both girls blushed fiercely, the weight of their newfound feelings hanging in the air between them. Wow, Olivia whispered, a soft smile spreading across her face. Wow, indeed, Sophie echoed, her heart racing. With the snow falling around them like a blessing, they shared a laugh, their worries melting away. So where do we go from here? Olivia asked, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Sophie grinned, feeling a rush of joy. Wherever this takes us, I'm ready, she said, her voice steady. Hand in hand, they walked through the snow-covered park, their hearts lighter than ever. They spoke about everything, dreams, fears, hopes, each conversation weaving their bond tighter. The winter chill faded into the background as they discovered warmth in each other's company. As the sun dipped low on the horizon, casting a golden hue over the snowy landscape, Sophie realized that this was just the beginning. They had a beautiful journey ahead of them, filled with laughter, friendship, and love. And for the first time, she felt like she belonged somewhere, right beside Olivia. And in that moment, amidst the falling snowflakes, two hearts intertwined, ready to embrace whatever came next, knowing they would face it together. As they continued walking through the winter wonderland, the snow crunched beneath their boots, and the fading sunlight cast a soft glow over everything. The park was now quiet, the laughter of the children replaced by the whisper of the wind through the trees. Sophie felt a comfortable silence envelop them, a shared understanding that needed no words. Do you remember the first day we met? Olivia suddenly asked, breaking the peaceful moment. Sophie laughed, her cheeks warming at the memory. How could I forget? You tripped over your own feet and fell right into the mud. Olivia chuckled, shaking her head. That was so embarrassing. I thought I would never live it down, especially with how you laughed. Oh, come on. I was just surprised. You were so confident and bubbly, and then you just splat. Sophie grinned. But you got right back up and acted like it didn't happen. That's when I knew you were special. Olivia's smile softened, and she glanced sideways at Sophie. You were special too, you know? I could tell you were different from everyone else. You had this quiet strength about you. I admired that. Sophie felt her heart flutter at Olivia's words, a warmth spreading through her. Thanks. I guess I've had to be strong because I've dealt with so much. You made it easier though, she admitted, her voice dropping slightly. Really? Olivia asked, her curiosity piqued. How so? Sophie hesitated for a moment, contemplating how much to share. When I was younger, I felt invisible. I was bullied a lot and it made me mute for a long time. But you changed everything for me. You made me feel seen again. I didn't realize I had that effect on you, Olivia replied softly, her expression sincere. But I'm glad. You deserve to feel that way. Sophie's heart swelled with emotion. You've always been there for me. Even when I was struggling. I think that's why I fell for you. You've always been kind, and you've shown me what real friendship looks like. Olivia stopped walking and turned to face Sophie, her expression serious. And you've shown me what it means to be brave, Sophie. I admire your strength. It inspires me every day. In that moment, under the blanket of snow and the dimming sunlight, Sophie felt a sense of connection that went deeper than words. She reached out, taking Olivia's hands in her own. No matter what happens, I want you to know that I'm here for you too. Always. Olivia's eyes sparkled with emotion, and she squeezed Sophie's hands. Always, she echoed, her voice filled with warmth. The air felt charged with unspoken promises, and they stood there for a moment, wrapped in each other's warmth. The world around them faded away, and Sophie felt like they were the only two people in existence. Hey, Olivia said suddenly, her expression playful. How about we get some hot chocolate? I think we've earned it after our epic snowball fight. Sophie laughed, the sound light and carefree. That sounds perfect. Let's go. They strolled through the park, their hands still intertwined, heading toward the small cafe nestled at the park's edge. As they walked, they talked about everything and nothing, what their favorite flavors were, their plans for the weekend, and the silly things that made them laugh. Once they reached the cafe, they ordered their drinks, each choosing a decadent hot chocolate topped with whipped cream and sprinkles. They found a cozy spot by the window, the warmth from the cafe contrasting with the crisp cold outside. As they sipped their drinks, Olivia's eyes twinkled mischievously. You know, I think I could beat you in a hot chocolate drinking contest. Oh, you're on. Sophie challenged, her competitive spirit ignited. They laughed, clinking their mugs together before chugging down their drinks. As the warmth filled her from the inside, Sophie couldn't help but steal glances at Olivia, who was focused on her cup with a determined look. Not bad, huh? Olivia said, wiping a bit of whipped cream from her lips with a grin. Not bad at all. But I think I can still win, Sophie said, raising her mug in defiance. The contest turned into fits of laughter, with whipped cream flying and playful arguments over who had the better strategy. After they both finished, their mugs empty and their hearts light, Olivia leaned back in her chair, a satisfied smile on her face. Okay, I concede. You win, Olivia said, pretending to be serious. You're the hot chocolate champion. Ha! I knew it. Sophie exclaimed, feeling triumphant. But don't think I'll let you live this down. I'll bring it up every time I need to remind you who's boss. Olivia rolled her eyes, her laughter ringing like music. Fine, fine. But I'll challenge you to a rematch someday. As they chatted, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow through the window. Sophie felt a warmth in her chest that had nothing to do with the hot chocolate. Everything felt right in that moment. She couldn't remember a time she had felt happier. Hey, Sophie. Olivia's voice broke through her thoughts, a hint of seriousness creeping back in. Yeah, Sophie replied, looking up from her mug. I just want to say, no matter what happens, I'm really glad to have you in my life. You mean a lot to me, Olivia confessed, her eyes sincere. Sophie felt her heart swell again, emotions bubbling up. You mean a lot to me too, Olivia. I really like you. More than just a friend, she admitted, feeling vulnerable yet liberated. Olivia's cheeks turned pink, and she looked down shyly. I like you too, Sophie. A lot. I've been scared to say anything because I didn't want to ruin our friendship. Sophie felt a surge of relief wash over her. So we're on the same page then? Definitely, Olivia said, her smile radiant. I've been thinking about how amazing it would be to be more than friends. Sophie beamed, feeling giddy. I can't believe we were both worried about the same thing. Guess that's what happens when you have two shy girls in a room. Olivia chuckled, her eyes twinkling with joy. Sophie leaned across the table, her heart racing as she took Olivia's hands once more. I'm really excited about this. Me too, Olivia whispered, her eyes locked onto Sophie's. As they sat there, their hearts full and their hands intertwined, the world outside faded even further. They knew this was the start of something beautiful, something that had blossomed in the winter chill and was ready to bloom in the warmth of their friendship turned love. From that day forward, their lives intertwined in the most enchanting way. They faced challenges together, celebrated victories, and supported each other through it all. Their bond only grew stronger as they discovered the depths of their feelings, embarking on a journey filled with laughter, love, and shared dreams. Every winter after that, Sophie and Olivia would return to the park, creating new memories together. Whether it was making snowmen or sipping hot chocolate, they cherished each moment, always reminded of the day their hearts aligned amidst the falling snow. And so, beneath the frosted trees and the blanket of winter, two souls found each other, blossoming in a love that would warm them through all the seasons to come.